好的。
Now turn left onto Albany Drive.
出力的人多了，懂吗？心态好就是富，穷人要穷开心，心嘛有句话叫自作长乐。
Come on.
自作长乐，做了会有的，还有人到是难吃的，这个商人有了就是富了，你不要管人家什么富，管什么事，对不对？你有本事去，没本事就收到你的一亩三分地，一亩三分只有10亩。
你还记得2019年短视频最初的模样吗？30首歌一起回忆那个曾经美好的时代。希望每一个看到这一期的小伙伴都能时间美好，与你环环相扣。草原最美的花和红的赛日郎，歌曲至今受到很多人的喜爱。国风歌曲下山，满满的无下风，慵懒嗓音，越听越上头啊！赵芳竟深情演唱洗脑神曲《芒种》，如今再听，回味无穷。花粥演唱的《出山》虽是抄袭歌曲，但在当年确实火呀。缅甸神曲《清醒的小女孩》。
In 500 feet, turn right
Typical
onto
speaker
Cambridge
understands
Avenue.
5 qualities about speech that allow them to be playful, precise, and persuasive with their words. The first is expanding their surface lexicon. Your lexicon refers to your personal vocabulary, the collection of words you recognize and employ in your speaking. Each of us has a surface lexicon and a deep lexicon. I'll use my proprietary whiteboard technology to illustrate this. Your surface lexicon, illustrated here, are the words you unconsciously default to and employ in your daily communication, approximately 1,500 to 3,000 unique words. Your deep lexicon, on the other hand, is comprised of words that you recognize but rarely employ in your speech. The average native English-speaking adult has a deep lexicon of approximately 20,000 to 35,000 unique words. When we speak, when we answer a question or compose a sentence, our brain first consults our surface lexicon for familiar words. For example, if I asked you, what did you think of the steak? The default reply might be, the steak was good, it was awesome. Have you heard of the words flavorful, tender, or perfectly seasoned? Of course, but those words are not located in your surface lexicon, and thus not the language that your brain defaults to as descriptors for a steak. What we realize is that the default way our brain wants us to say something is more than likely not the best way to say it, because the words registered in our surface lexicon are simply not the right words. And that's what articulacy is, being able to...
How to negotiate a salary with higher pay with confidence, right? Are you at the point in your career path where you feel that you are not being paid your worth? Are you ready to be paid your worth? And you recognize that the skill set that you've developed over the years, the length of time that you've been in this company, the value that you've been adding in your teams is not quite commensurate with the pay that you have been receiving. If you are somebody who wants to know, how do I ask for higher pay? How do I get that salary raise? How do I ask for a raise? Then in this video, what I want to share with you are some of the 5 habits you want to develop if you want to have that confidence and that certainty when you go in for the ask, and that you can ask effectively. So I'm going to share with you 5 habits that you want to adopt right away. Habit number 1
I was
is
too
to
fast
declare
and it was
your
not
values.
emerging.
Don't declare your needs. Now most people, when they
Now
go in for
turn
the
left
ask,
onto
they ask for a
St.
raise, they
Thomas
ask for more
Expressway.
money. What they do is they bring forward their needs. For example, right, I have 3 kids I need to raise. I have certain bills to pay, right? There has been inflation, right? And I need to have a little bit more pay so that I can provide for my loved ones, right? Those are your needs, right? Those are my needs if I'm they
Scott
want to be
Boulevard.
liked. They have a value system where it is so important to them to be liked, right? That they don't want to step on toes. They don't want to appear as an
Now
interrupter.
turn left
They
onto
don't want to
Scott
appear as
Boulevard.
being too greedy, right? They want to be liked. And with this value system, what happens is that they work so hard to keep their reputation. They work so hard not to disturb any relationship, any perceived interruptions or challenges in the relationship, that they want to be agreeable, and therefore they don't advocate for their own interests. Because you don't want to be agreeable. Now you don't want to be on the other end of the spectrum and be extremely disagreeable as well. Instead, what you want to do is you want to communicate powerfully, right? Advocate for yourself. Communicate what your interests are, and do it from a standpoint of knowing what you want to achieve for yourself, like communicating the value of what you have to bring and linking it to the benefits that the company or your teams stand to gain as a
In
result
500
of
feet,
offering
turn
new
right
skills
onto
and
Harrison
your
Street.
experience. Habit number 3, develop clarity to create confidence. Right? This
Now
whole video
turn
is about
right
how do you
onto Harrison
achieve a
Street.
salary with confidence. Right? In order to have confidence, you must first have clarity. Clarity of what you want. Now, most people, most professionals, when they go into for a salary conversation, they don't know what they want. The habit that they have is to give a range of, well, I think that I feel that I should be paid between this amount and this amount. So they give a range. And the range causes confusion because when you give a range, right, the company is going to have the perception that you're not clear on what it is worth to you. You're not clear on what that number is to you and why. And so they're going to tend towards the lower end of that.
That make him so charismatic and how you can incorporate them into your own life. It's worth noting, while Matthew McConaughey is very handsome, his confidence and charisma can apply to you no matter what you look like. The first habit you can learn from Matthew is to set the mood at the start of every interaction. Matthew moves slowly and is never rushed when speaking. This gives off a relaxed feeling no matter the situation. Just watch how he enters the Colbert Show. You'll notice he walks slow and his pace is very relaxed as he looks around smiling. This conveys a carefree attitude that sets the tone from the start and frames the rest of your conversation. Imagine the difference it would make if he entered quickly and walked straight to the host with tight body language. Now, relaxed isn't the only mood you can set. You can set playful, flirty, high energy, whatever you want. Determine the mood you want for an interaction and spend the first 10 to 20 seconds bringing that energy. You'll also see Matthew greets everyone around him. He takes the time to intentionally acknowledge the band and the audience. Many people make the mistake of only bringing the people they think can benefit them. So you see them only try to talk to the most attractive or coolest person in a group. Or at an interview, they'll blow off whoever's at the front desk, only being kind to the person they think has the power to give them the job. This type of focused charisma makes people feel like you're trying to get something from them, which is off-putting. So the next time you're walking into an interview, a workplace meeting, or social group, take 3 to 5 seconds to greet each person. For a stronger first impression, combine this with some form of touch, whether it's a hug or just a handshake. Now, it's clear that that trademark energy that Matthew creates is one of comfort and relaxation. So much so that other actors joke they inherit those vibes just from spending time with him.
I've been around him a few times and everybody just kind of does what he's up to.
Absolutely. Totally. Like all of a sudden you're with him and all of a sudden you find yourself kind of like leaning back. You lean back, you talk, you maybe don't enunciate.
One reason for this is that he makes himself comfortable in every environment. Just look at his body language in this clip from Craig Ferguson.
He's nice, Michael, isn't he? Yeah, he's really funny. I can tell. No, it's like very. All right. I'll tell you something, Matthew. You know what he told me? What?
Matthew lounges back in his chair with his arm draped over the side. This exudes that informal, I don't give a care attitude that is one
In
of the main
500
ingredients of
feet,
his charm.
turn
To try
left
to see
onto
your own life,
Albeeson
next time
Street.
you want to look
Then
relaxed
bear
under
right to
pressure,
stay
try
on
the simple act
Albeeson
of
Street.
taking up slightly more space than you usually would and opening your body language. A nice bonus to this, your physical comfort will translate to mental comfort, putting you more at ease. So not only will you appear confident and relaxed, you'll also feel it. Beyond just the body language itself, what makes Matthew seem so cool is that he stays anchored to himself. Watch this
Now
next
turn
clip.
left onto Albeeson
Everyone else on
Street.
the couch is sitting straight up, but Matthew doesn't try to blend in.
I would kick your ass at the fair.
He even puts his drink on the ground instead of the table so he can lounge back even more. Many people would feel social pressure to sit up straight to try to fit in, especially around a dominant personality
Now
like
bear
John
right
Cena.
to stay on
Matthew does the opposite.
Albeeson
He
Street.
stays in his own frame instead of joining theirs. Staying true to yourself, even when it makes you stand out, can show tremendous confidence. This isn't to say you should never try to change your
1,000
habits or
feet,
grow as a
take the
person.
ramp on
It's
the
about
right
choosing what
toward
kind of person
Interstate
you want to be.
880,
Again,
San
whether that's
Jose.
relaxed, high energy, playful, kind, choose who you want to be and don't stop just to blend in with the other people around you. Now, no matter who you are, there is one more habit you can steal from Matthew and instantly become the charismatic and
one could be a tricky one because I think in the model, they think this lane is the right turn only lane. But a few months ago, they changed it. See? So now this one is both straight and the right turn. But then in the model, it still thought this is right turn only. So once it turned green, it's just gonna merge, no matter whether there is car here, which is really this is just horrible. It has been, I think it's gonna show like that. So now I have to disengage it. Look at that, right? It just merges. Look at this. It should just go straight, that one. But now it's just directly merged, ignoring this car, and that is super dangerous. That is just not gonna work. You guys can see there's a car here, right? Look at this car. It's just gonna merge. Doesn't matter what this car is gonna do. Look at that. Just merge. What the fuck? I was just blinked by the person behind me. She didn't harm me, but I was just blinked by the person. This is unacceptable, okay? So I just disengage here. Sorry. You can't merge to the right without giving the sign or ignoring the person behind me. This is very dangerous.